Any guests that are joining us? I see we have Stephen back with us, and who else did I see earlier? I see Ernest is back. Thank you for coming back. And Mariatu. Oh my goodness, we have several guests. And you are so welcome. Is that David Radney, Charles' brother? Don't say son, because Charles is not that old.
Son.
Okay. So anyway, welcome to Entrepreneur Toastmasters Club. We want our guests to feel welcome and enjoy the meeting, and we will invite you to make comments at the end. We have a full program. Our Toastmaster today is my friend and yours, the Vice President of Public Relations in this club. And from the big picture, District 12, Ban Wang is our Division C Director. He's the one that we all report to for our division business and activities. And I see Deborah shaking her head. We were area directors last year with Bond, and we had a great time. So let's get started. Bond, take it away.
Thank you, Madam President. That was a warm introduction. I really need this warmth this morning. It's freezing here, I guess everywhere around Southern California. Good morning, fellow entrepreneurs and Toastmasters and delightful guests. We have quite a few guests this morning. Welcome to our meeting. I'm honored to be your Toastmaster today, and I'm excited to kick off our meeting with this theme of pitch your business. You know, as entrepreneurs and the would-be entrepreneurs, whether you are selling a book, a product, an idea, a blogging site, we all have one thing in common, right? We believe in our businesses and their potential for success. And as we know, a crucial part of that success is being able to effectively pitch your business to many people, investors, clients, partners, and of course, here, our fellow Toastmasters. Today, we will practice and challenge our pitching skills, whether you are just starting out or you are a seasoned entrepreneur. So let's get started, shall we? And make the most of this meeting. Firstly, I would like to introduce some functional roles. Thanks to these functionals, their services will help us have a successful meeting. This moment, we have a timer, which is Miss Frankie Jones. Morning, Frankie. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing very well. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you introduce us your role as the timer this morning?
Yes, it's my job to keep us on time. So I will be timing our speeches, our prepared speeches. And what is our time today? Let me look at the agenda. So 5 to 7 minutes speech. You will see the green at 5 minutes, the yellow at 6 minutes, the red at 7 minutes, and you have 30 seconds to wrap it up. For our table topics, which is 1 to 2 minutes, you'll see the green at 1 minute, the yellow at 1.5, and the red at 2 minutes. Again, 30 seconds to wrap it up. And evaluations, I believe you timed the whole evaluation portion, is that correct? So what's my time on that?
4 to 5 minutes for the general evaluator.
Okay, so the green will be at 4, the yellow at 4.5, and the red at 5. Mr. Toastmaster.
Yes, thank you, Frankie. Just a little bit head up. we are an advanced club, so we have a kind of round robin evaluation to the speakers. So in that portion, our agenda gives about 4 minutes. So would you please give a signal, whatever it is, maybe green, just red is up to you, when the 4 minutes is up.
Okay,
Okay,
will
great.
do.
Thank you so much. So we will move on to our major portion. I can't wait to hear these two wonderful speakers about their speeches, their stories, and their business. Today we have two speakers, and I will introduce the speaker number one. I just got her introduction right now. Suzanne is completing part 2 of her project called the evaluation and the feedback portion of her speech. And this is one of her passes, which is called Dynamic Leadership Level 1. She will incorporate the suggestions given to her from her speech on February 1st, entitled Always More. So, Suzanne Lena, Always More, Part 2. Always More, Part 2, Suzanne Lena.
Thank you, Bond, and fellow entrepreneurial Toastmasters and all these wonderful guests who have joined us today. I am segueing into part 2, incorporating some of the ideas that I gave you February 1st. Now, many of you weren't here February 1st, so a brief review is in store for you. When I presented that, I talked about how we first engage with those people who become our clients. And there are 4 responses that can happen when we ask somebody if they like our idea or our product. The first one is, yes, some will. Some will jump right into what you have to offer. Some won't. The timing just won't be right for them. So what? We have to jump to that frame of mind. Somebody is waiting to hear what you have to offer. So the second part is engaging and giving reference to how we'll take that some will aspect of your response and take it to the next level. In March of 2020, I attended a seminar given by John Lillywhite, who is from Division E. He's a member of the Inland Gateways Club and very versed in Zoom etiquette. And I was just transfixed because we were all of a sudden catapulted into that Zoom platform. So today on our journey, I'm going to take us and just 3 important points that I think are helpful for us to engage, because somewhere in your presentation, somewhere in your business acumen with your new clients, there will be a Zoom interaction, whether you're talking to their board of directors or however that may happen. Hopefully the initial first one is one-to-one on Starbucks or someplace, but somewhere there'll be an engagement. And so I'm here to help you make the most of that opportune time after here's the little reminder, some will say yes. And so we're addressing the next step of what happens when some say yes. Okay, first point is to show up and be ready, as you all are on camera. The most important thing is to show your face. You wouldn't want to speak with someone who's ready to engage in your idea and product from behind a name or just a virtual background. You want to be present. They want to get to know and see you. So the first thing is set up and be ready. That's the first part of what I'm going to share with you today. And that means that you're groomed, that you and your background are a flow, that people aren't looking forward to see if you have a logo or something, that you're in a good light. I happen to live in a place that has lots of good light. So, but during the day it changes, and that may be the case for you. So be present and blend into your background. it doesn't engage you. I have a white home, and so the walls are white. So I don't want to be stark white, but I'm wearing something that's a little softer, and of course, you know, a little makeup doesn't hurt. Now, guys, I know for you that's, but if you know, if you have a blemish or something, the better you present, the more confidence you will have with your presentation, and your client will say, wow, they look professional. I want to engage more with them. So the first thing is presence. The second thing that I want to remember, have you remember, is to center yourself. I'm pretty centered, even though I can move from side to side if I had something to show you. I am centered, and hopefully you are too in what you have to present to that person. The third thing is a logo. If you have a lot of readable things in the back, although my background is a little busy, there's nothing readable or something that's taking me away from focusing on you. You could have, you know, a little plant or something, but nothing that is going to take away from my looking at you as my presence, that I want to engage more deeply in what I have to say. And the third thing is, which I think is an interesting point, is to have a Zoom mentor. Have somebody right now on this call, if you're presenting or doing table topics, or if you're just going to engage as a visitor, you still have a presence. And you might in the chat ask someone that you see on camera, will you just kind of watch and see right now from where I'm presenting, is this what I would want my client to see? Is this how I would want them to project and see? Do they want to go any further? And oh, the mute point is important too. Please remember to mute, because we have busy families and we have pets that run in and out, and we have kids that want to know where their lunch is. And so make sure that you have given them this time, and they know that you have an entrepreneurial meeting every Wednesday at 7 a.m. So nothing else takes you off point. You are here, present, not making lunches, zooming in and out, because that's very distracting. We don't want that for you. You're in that second presentation pose now because somebody has said, I will, I want more. And so you want to give them the best of more. So after I was listening to John Lillywhite, nobody's background, even my own, became strange territory. And I have been a Zoom mentor and continue to do that. Now, a lot of attention has come to the virtual background, and we know in our upgoing contest that has been discouraged, that they don't want a visual background because it becomes very distracting. And I've given you that point already. What I would have you remember is you and your product are the most important part of any presentation that you give. So make sure that you do it professionally, that you do it well, and your some wills will increase, because word will get out about your professional presentation and your commitment to excellence. Mr. Toastmaster.
Well, thank you, Suzanne. Well done. Now it's time to send Suzanne some feedback. So Sam will give you evaluation. So I would like to open the floor. Anyone would like to come up with some comments, evaluations, suggestions, thoughts? Whatever you have. I have Charles. Charles, good morning.
Good morning. Suzanne, there was a lot of information packed into that, a lot that I really appreciated. One of the things that you talked about that a lot of people are not aware of is that during the day, as the lighting changes outside, it can really affect what you're doing inside. That was very, very helpful for a lot of people. Back to you, Man.
Got it. Thank you. Anybody else? Our guests, okay, we have Ray.
Yes, this is Stephen Hutchinson.
Uh.
Yes, I thought the presentation was very fluid. It was very smooth. It was articulated well and clear as she gave different points to take note of. So it was easy to take notes. It was easy to understand, and it's easy to apply. So I thought it was a great presentation.
Great. Thank you, Stephen. Next one, Ray. I
Thank
see
you.
your hand up.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. And I completely agree with Stephen. Very well articulated, very timely presentation. And I say that because so many, as Suzanne indicated, are more and more on Zoom. And it helps to know if you're going to be presenting yourself on Zoom to do it in a qualitative manner. What stood out most to me was, as you indicated with a lot of our backgrounds, I noticed that, for example, mine is a bit noisy. We can have noisy backgrounds if we're not careful, and that can be a distractor. So that really stood out for me. The only other thing I could have thought would maybe, as relative to the backgrounds, is also focus on the camera as far as lighting is concerned. Too often we forget that lighting needs to be focused on the presenter and not so much on the background. And sometimes we overlook that. We're not all technicians. We forget that lighting is critical, is crucial for those that are in center stage for the moment. Aside from that, well done. Thank you so much, Susan. I love that. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Okay. Wow, lighting. I didn't notice that part. Very insightful. Thank you. So we see a few more hands up. We can pick one more. April, I see your hand up.
Yes, good morning. Thank you so
Morning.
much for your presentation, Suzanne, especially from last time. I appreciate the signs that you used. Last time I couldn't remember all of your SWs, and since your last speech, it's been in my head. What was that last one? The some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting. So I'm glad that you came back, you revisited that concept, and the signs that you had really helped to solidify the content of that visual, especially as we're growing our business and the emotional ups and downs. I think the SW formula will give us some emotional continuity as we move from client to client or prospect to prospect. Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. And that, I think, sticking that in our brains as entrepreneurs will help to strengthen ourselves emotionally as we're continuing to build and talk to more people. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, April. So I see green light now. Time to move on. Before that, I want to quickly add my comments and my thoughts. Suzanne, this is the right second time you give this speech for this project. I have run this project myself, evaluation and feedback. I couldn't really run the second speech so close to the first one because we have to wait for the club to give the speech slot. So you have this luxury, you have this steam to really, boom, right, give second one and the second meeting. This, I guess our club is so active and we have very convenient signing up on the FreeToast Host website agenda, which give you right the time to sign up for second one. And for us, our memories are so fresh and we still remember, like April said, the first one. So well done, Suzanne. Thank you. Let's move on to second speaker. We have speaker number 1. Our next speaker has been a Toastmasters for 5 years. Now she is working on her pathways, which is called public relations. Her project is from sorry, I was wrong. The name of the path is called Strategic Relationships. Over the next 5 to 7 minutes, she is going to share a public relations plan that she will be using to promote her online store, which is called Just Proverbs. Her speech title is Promoting Just Proverbs. Please help me welcome Toastmaster Tommy Daniel.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Good morning. The purpose of this project was to create a public relations strategy for a real or hypothetical situation or group, then share that strategy with you. 6 weeks ago, I started an online store from scratch. Since then, I have been busy designing, setting up, and starting to advertise that store. The name of the store, as you heard, is Just Proverbs. And in my role as the creative director of the store, I curate proverbs from around the world, then design these proverbs and have them printed on a wide range of home and living products. In a fast-paced world of more than 8 billion people, inundated with glitzy ads and all kinds of perfect pitches every day, how do I steer traffic to my store? How do I convert visitors to the store website to become buyers? In the next 5 minutes, sit back and let me walk you through the outline of the PR strategy that I am using to get the word out about the store, about the products that I offer, and the benefits of getting them. My PR strategy, the overall purpose is to create a positive opinion where none currently exists. This is a brand new store. The objective is to promote the Just Proverbs store and the benefits of the product that it sells. The core message that I am getting out is that the product at Just Proverbs store, they help to transform spaces from drab to fab. Each item is unique, printed with proverbial wisdom in vivid colors and stunning designs. Buy any for a range of benefits that include beautifying your spaces, wowing your guests, helping to break the ice with strangers, deepening discussions in spaces where you place them, and getting wisdom and clarity anytime you pass by them. Also, my products will gladden your heart and impart wisdom to whoever beholds them. Who is my audience that I'm targeting with this message? It's anyone who can read English, who treasures creativity, and who seeks wisdom. They're individuals, they're groups, they're organizations of all ages and gender. What is the media that I'm using to get this message out? It's where my audience are located. They're online, in Facebook groups, on Instagram, in Pinterest. They're in physical spaces, in homes, in offices, anywhere where people gather. How do they consume information? That's also very important. Do they want audio? Do they want print? Do they want video? I'm considering all those things. When do they consume information the most? Is it on weekdays? Is it on weekends? Is it in the mornings? Is it in the evenings? I am considering all of those things. How much will it cost to produce the content of my message in the form that they love them? These are all things that I have factored into my budget and my strategy. How do I contact this media? I have compelling stories that I tell. For those who are able to listen, I call them and I tell them about the store and the products. I have videos that I'm developing. I have email copies that I send out, text messages with crisp talking points about what is there and what is available. Currently, I am taking classes on a platform called Allison Courses on search engine optimization or SEO on social marketing. I am also using a platform called Fiverr, which is where a lot of creatives gather to help with marketing, to help with advertising, and to help with my PR. What are the tactics that I'm using? Social media post. I have an Instagram account. I have a Pinterest account. I have a Facebook account. I am using website posts. I have a blog that is closely related to that. I have a link there on the blog that can direct people to the store. I am sending out emails, I'm sending out messages, and Toastmasters has a lot of resources in the Pathways program that I am tweaking to that and has helped to make this faster for me. I am using word of mouth, telling people who have purchased things from the store to help spread the message. I am also getting shout outs from people who have their own platforms to talk about it. For the future, I am targeting special dates and holidays. Father's Day is coming, Mother's Day is coming, Grandparents' Day is coming, graduation season is coming. I have a lot of stunning products that would make ideal gift for all these things. So I'm telling people about them. I am also designing print brochures that I would be able to sell, to send out electronically and place in locations where I can use them. As I put all these things in place, I am tracking, I'm evaluating the success of my PR strategy. Is traffic increasing to my store? Where are they coming from? How long are they staying? I'm checking the analytics every day to understand what's going on there. I am following up on emails as people send them within 24 hours. I am anticipating that as this picks up, there will be things like trolling on social media. That's a bane of social media. It's something to prepare for, but I intend to remain cool, calm, and collected and keep my eye on the prize, getting the word out about the store. And so this morning, my call to action is to help spread the word. This is one of my products. This is a proverbial wheel of gratitude. It's a pillow. I had the pillow before. I designed the pillowcase and I just put it on it. I can take it out and wash it. I cannot share my screen, but I have a QR code that you can all scan to be able to get to the store. And so my call to action, if you have not visited the store, please do. It's justproverbs.com. And I will put the QR code in the chat box. Please go there. Help spread the word. Do you know a place where I can pitch this? Please do. Let's share the wisdom. Let's share the beauty. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for this business idea and your practices throughout. I think you have come to the right place to pitch your business, and now it's time to see how have you done pitching your business. We will hear some feedbacks and evaluations. I would like to invite audience guests to come up, give you some suggestions. Any volunteers? Maybe we can go with some of our visitors. Ernie? Okay, we have the lesson, but let me go Ernie first, and we go another guest of ours.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Mr. Toastmaster. Tommy, you're
Professional.
amazing. You are amazing. I'm listening to you. You have thought through trying to promote your business. You're taking it seriously. You are actively engaging with your customers. You are actively engaging in growing your skills to market your program and track your program. One of the biggest challenges that we have with marketing is, how do I know it's working? When I do things, how do I know it's working? And you're taking steps to make sure that, hey, I'm doing this and this is how I know it's working. Most small business owners don't do that. So that's amazing that you're doing that. I love the way you presented it. I love the idea. I just praise you as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur. 2 thumbs up, Tommy. Well done.
Thank you, Ernie. Thank you for the thumbs up. Nathan, any thoughts?
Yes, thank you, Toastmaster. Tommy, that was a wonderful presentation. That's awesome. I congratulate you on starting your new online store. I would like to point out how I really appreciated how you went out of your way to make sure that you explained the benefits of your product to the customer and saying how, oh, it will make it so that when you have your guests over, it's something to deepen the conversation. And I think that's a really good talking point, and I appreciated that. So thank you, Tommy.
Thank you, Nathan. Next one, Mary Adjo. Would you provide some thoughts?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Tommy, I really appreciate the fact that you are focusing more on social media. A lot of people don't take advantage of social media. I am one of a social media maniac when it comes to my business. I'm in your face all the time about sharing ideas, or even if you like your pillow, which is all about quotes. It looks like it's about quotes. I love sharing quotes. I love the idea of sending out positive messages out there every morning to people that follow me. So I really appreciate that. I can't wait to check out your website and see what I can find there myself. One thing for sure is that I would have really loved to get more what the benefit is. You did say the benefit, but I really didn't catch the benefit so well. So maybe next time you can explain it even better, go deeper into it. But other than that, I love the fact that you are using all these platforms, because that's how I manage, I promote my business. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you guys for having me. Ernie, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate that.
Wow. Thank you, Mariette. What a good resonate, and you share some common experiences. Thank you for the insights. Next one, our next but not the least is Stephen. So we have one more from Stephen.
Yes, thank you very much. I really appreciated that presentation. I thought it was well thought out and analytical in the way in which you presented your strategy. You actually explained to us the strategy that you're using and how you follow up on your strategy, your SEO, your public relations. So I think it was very illuminating. You illuminated the process that you're following. And also, I thought it was very intelligent that you made an offer, a call to action at the end. I thought that was significant. And what I would suggest is that if anything could be more visual, since we're leaning more towards visual, just like using words or in some way, fashion or form, like you did with the pillow, to illustrate what you're doing, that would even make it more impactful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Stephen. You just said what I thinking in my head is visualization. Tommy, you talk a lot of the visual materials, your website, blogging, the newsletter. This all about the visual. I really like to see some screen sharing where we can see that online store and give us very visual impact. Just quickly check with Tommy. Did you try to share screen and you couldn't? Or you just didn't do that at all, right? I double check our account right now is open for the screen sharing. Just make sure. Did you try it or you just didn't do that, right? You are muted.
I can't hear you. Sorry, now I can't. Before I couldn't, so it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Just make sure that the sharing screen is open now.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's move on. Charles, before that, Charles, you have some more comments?
The only comment I want to make is that on Zoom meetings, you have people on with so many different devices that looking for a function on a different device can be a challenge for some people.
Got you. Thank you. So let's move on. In the next 15 minutes also, we will have a very exciting portion where we will have our club featured session, which we call the mastermind, where we will open the floor to the discussions and led by a host with some relevant theme to what we are heading to right now, which is pitching the business. Of course, we will invite our guests to come up to share their thoughts, their opinions, and to lead this session, which is mastermind, is assistant Toastmaster. I think he has a lot of hats. He's a photographer. For me, he's a very thoughtful person, and he is the treasurer of our club, and he is also a fellow member of several other clubs. And I always enjoy that he sharing his thoughts, have some open discussions. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please help me welcome the Table Topics Master, Ray Robles.
Good morning, Toastmaster Bond and fellow Toastmasters. Great to be here this Wednesday morning. It's a bit chilly out, but this is Southern California. What do you expect when it's normally 100 degrees? Once in a while, you expect some cooler degrees, such as this morning. Are we ready to spin the bottle? How many of you remember spinning the bottle when you were little? In this case, we're going to spin the topic for 1 to 2 minutes. You know that we're in for some unknown, uncertain, yet creative times ahead. So here's the deal. Positive and creative people are drawn to positive, creative, and energetic people with innovative ideas and ventures. In this creative world of ours, it's going to take some new and interesting ideas to bring focus and attention to new and innovative products. Sometimes it takes a creative transparency to make a sale. With our business ideas in mind, it's time for us to sit down and learn and maybe attract some new customers. We're about to help each other out. So let's play Spin the Bottle. Let's respond to some things. I'll be asking a few different questions from those of us that choose to participate, and I hope that that's most of us. I may not call the newer guests for the sake of being able to watch the seasoned Toastmasters as they respond to the questions. Here's the first one. When it comes to the formation of a mastermind or an accountability partner group, this one goes to Taya. How might you incorporate or pitch the notion of gratitude within this group? Again, when it comes to the formation of a mastermind or an accountability group, how might you incorporate or pitch the notion of gratitude within this group? Taya.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters. Thank you so much, Table Topics Master Ray, for that question. Pitching the notion of gratitude. I find myself thinking immediately of the gratitude that I have for this Toastmasters group. My mother, Roz, the president, invited me to join, and I'm actually out of state. So the opportunity initially to join this group, I was hesitant, but thankfully, with gratitude, I am finding that each and every one of our Toastmasters has a unique quality and ability to connect, either through using the chat room, through how we're sharing feedback with one another, how our amazing Bon Wang, who is over our marketing, comes up with creative ideas to pitch our businesses. I would encourage the notion of gratitude to continue with each of us finding ways to connect even outside of the meeting time frame, continuing to develop community with one another by, as it was shared earlier with our first speaker, Susan, finding a mentor. So all of those opportunities would allow us to continue this notion of gratitude. So thank you once again, back to you, Table Topics Master Ray.
Thank you, Taya. Making the sale. Ernie, this one has your name written all over it. You just got tasked to make a professional presentation to 21 hopeful investors in our new line of electric toothbrushes. With a predicted annual net income of over $50 million, what will that presentation look like? Again, Ernie, making the sale. You just got tasked to make a professional presentation to 21 hopeful investors in our new line of electric toothbrushes. With a predicted annual income of over $50 million, what is that presentation gonna look like, Ernie?
Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master. Well, if you're going to sell anything, it must solve a problem because people don't buy products, they buy solutions to their problems. So the sale will look like, how will we solve a problem? The problem of instant and amazing tooth cleaning at the right at your fingertips to do. So we would talk about the ease and excitement of using this product, the transportation or the ability to transport it anywhere at any time, and the ability to be excited about doing something that's kind of mundane that we do 2 or 3 times a day. So this product not only looks good, it feels good in your hand, it's easy to use, it's easy to transport. So we're solving that problem. The money is nice. We don't focus on the money. We focus on the benefit of the product, the ease of use, the excitement of that product. And of course, there is the result of payoff, money. So that's how we solve this problem. That's how we sell this product. We do it with enthusiasm. We do it with zip. We do it with zeal. And we are absolutely sold out to the idea that this is the best product on the planet today. You have to have it. Please, Mrs. Investors, consider our product. Thank you, Mr. Table Topic Master.
Way to go, Ernie. With the social market screaming for your attention through slogans, banners, and countless other forms of tactics, Werner, how do you propose to bring attention to your business? Again, Werner, this one's for you. With the social market screaming for your attention through slogans, banners, and countless other forms of tactics, how do you propose to bring attention to your business, Werner?
It's interesting how social networking has changed to social media. Today, when I look on social media, I was actually rather shocked when I first took a look at Facebook. I noticed that people are posting and posting and posting and posting, but I am not seeing as much interaction person to person. It used to be social networking, as it was called, which people might remember places like AOL, CompuServe, MySpace. They were much more about communication 2 ways than 1 way. Today, when I'm looking at social media, I'm seeing mass media on an individual level. It's all about, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And in the comments, you see, that's great, wonderful. Short comments that really do not invite very much return comment. I believe that outreach and engagement is very, very important. What is outreach? Say hello. What is engagement? Carry on a conversation and then do follow-up. Well, what's follow-up? Saying hello again and engaging in conversation. And when we say hello once again and carry on another conversation, we are developing friendship. People love to bond with other people. And especially now with the COVID deal on Zoom, how in the world can you hug somebody? A virtual hug is not anywhere near as satisfying as hugging a friend, greeting them at the door, or shaking hands at least. Some people are not quite up to hugging other people. Personal interaction, I do believe, is where it's at. Thank you.
Thank you, Werner. We indeed thank you. Making the sale. I'm in the market for a new 4-wheel drive Jeep. David, if you choose to participate, we would love to hear your response. Again, I'm in the market for a new 4-wheel drive Jeep, and you happen to work for a Jeep dealership, and I'm considering the purchase of one of these off-road vehicles from your lot. Why should I purchase a Jeep? In light of the fact we're going to electric vehicles, EV vehicles. David.
I appreciate the opportunity to go over this question. Thank you. So, first of all, what I'm going to do is talk to you not about the Jeep and the importance of the Jeep. It's important for me to know a little bit more about you and what you plan to do with this vehicle. I look at myself. I just purchased a truck myself. And one of the things that are so important when you're looking for a vehicle is understanding the lifestyle. I can't pitch you if I don't understand the problem I'm trying to solve that you're having in your life. So a lot of my questions will be, how would you use this vehicle? What type of travel do you do? What type of things do you transport? How is that vehicle going to be used in your personal, maybe even your professional life? And so I think going through a list of those questions, wow, I'm actually stumped. This is good. I think actually going through a list of those questions will better help me understand. And when I better understand your use for the vehicle, it's easy for me to take you on the test drive and pinpoint how that vehicle can best help you and why it's going to be a great investment for you. For example, 4-wheel drive. What a lot of people end up doing when they buy a vehicle like this is they do a lot of off-roading. So I'm going to have a conversation with you if that's what you're into, on what type of places you like to go to. I'm going to have you visualize that with me, and then talk to me about how you would feel if you were driving that vehicle and you weren't getting stuck in ruts like you used to. If you were able to navigate places you weren't able to navigate before, or go to places you weren't able to get to before because you didn't have that type of capability. If I'm getting you to envision how you'll feel in that truck and what that truck's going to be able to do for you, I'm tapping into, logically, I know you need to buy a truck, but emotionally, how you're going to feel once you're in that truck and living that type of life, how that's going to make you feel. If I get you to share that with me, I don't have to sell the truck. I just have to point out some of those features that are going to make it right for you and the way you're going to use that vehicle. So I think that's the way I would go about selling the vehicle, is really tapping into what you want to do with it and getting you to visualize yourself in that vehicle, how it's going to transform your life, and what doors it's going to open for you. And then I'll open the door, get you in, take your money, and send you on your way. So thank you.
Thank you, David. Mr. Toastmaster Bond, we have 11 minutes left. We have time for one more. Thank you. This one goes out to Nathan. Nathan, you have just created a podcast. Your target audience is young men in their mid to late 20s. The subject matter is dating. What are some of the things that you plan on covering in anticipation of drawing a larger group to your site? Nathan.
Thank you, Question Master. If I were to be starting a podcast on the topic of dating, specifically targeted young men, there's already a huge market for this, and there are lots of creators that are covering this topic already. Now, something that I could do to specifically grow my audience for my podcast would be to reach out to fellow creators who already have a larger audience. Now, these will be people who are already interested in such topics as dating and already have this large audience. So I can sell them my product and say, hey, I have this podcast I'm creating. Would you like to join? And we can discuss dating for young men. Now, this will do two things. This will expand my network with fellow creators, which presents opportunities in the future. And it also will grow my audience, because that person already has a huge audience that will be drawn to my podcast because they see his name. That's the route that I would go. And I think that you can apply this to anything. So such as Tommy, your business, if you reach out to Instagram creators who do lots of inspirational media, make lots of inspirational content, you could reach out to them and say, I have this product. It's very inspirational. It's something that they really believe in, so that when they show their audience it, they're using that passion. And because their audience is a group of people who really enjoy this person for their personality, when it's recommended to you, when someone gets recommended something from a person they trust that recommendation. So I really think that's the way forward in social marketing, and that's how I would market my hypothetical dating podcast. Thank you, Ray.
Thank you, Nathan. Wonderful responses from one and all. My little pitch for Toastmasters. It's a wonderful platform to grow, to learn, to practice your skills, to support each other, and just have fun. We, in this world, know that we often pay for the opportunity to grow, to learn. It's an investment for ourselves. You don't have a car, you don't buy a four-wheel Jeep without providing certain maintenance to it. Many of us spend more time and money and energy on our vehicles than we do on ourselves even. But this is the perfect platform to do maintenance on ourselves. How do you do that? Let's put ourselves in the shop. Let's put ourselves behind the wheel and invest and grow. One of the ways to do that is through annual dues, which, by the way, are coming up for Toastmasters. If you're in the club, let's stay tuned. Let's continue to grow. Let's pay our dues. It isn't but $45 every 6 months. And that, by the way, it's coming up. So let's put ourselves in the shop. Let's continue to grow. Let's take care of our dues and stay tuned for more. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ray. That was a great pitch. You totally got me. You have sold to me at least. Thank you so much. So time really flies, right? I hope you guys already get a little bit warm up after these heated discussions. Now we have come to an overall evaluation. To lead this person is a dear friend of mine. We used to be in the co-workers in the district leadership. Now we still work very closely across the Toastmasters community. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, please help me welcome General Evaluator Deborah Gillis.
Good morning, fellow Toastmasters, and thank you, Toastmaster Bond. Thank you for that warm welcome. The meeting, awesome meeting this morning. It's not my job to evaluate the speakers. It's my job to evaluate how the meeting went overall. We had an awesome meeting this morning. There were those of us that joined the meeting early so we could start the meeting on time. We start the meeting on time because Toastmasters teaches us to be in a timely manner. We saw everyone on Zoom. Our presiding officer was on board. She introduced as many guests as she could prior to our time. She introduced our Toastmaster of the Day, Bon Wang. She gave a great introduction for our Toastmaster of the Day. Guests were welcome. The meeting started on time by our Sergeant at Arms. We do a countdown. He counts down the time at 2 minutes prior to. He let everyone know in 2 minutes the meeting will be beginning. Everyone that could be introduced by our Sergeant at Arms as well was introduced. The Toastmaster, awesome. Pitching your business. He talked about the pitching your business within this group. As entrepreneurs, we all want to hear about how to pitch our business. The theme was well presented by Bon Wang as our Toastmaster of the Day. The speeches by everyone, by Suzanne, by Tommy. Yes, it was awesome. Each one talked about their business and the elevation of how we should run our business. Each one was detailed. Suzanne did a part 2 in her speech. She took notes from our last speech and she presented it very well by elevating us and showing the signs, showing each and every one what the SW meant. There were 4 SWs she talked about in the last meeting. She focused on the so what we will do today. the table topics master, awesome. He did a spin the topic. His topic was based on the theme of the day, pitching your business. The question he presented to everyone that participated was about pitching your business. Very deep questions. Everyone was able to answer them in a timely manner. Our timer was able to put our timing in the chat if everyone can see. The table topics is 1 to 2 minutes. Everyone that spoke was presented with the red, green, or yellow light, and everyone was in time. Taya's 1:42, Ernie 1:33, Werner 2:12. Everyone was on time with all of that. I overall must say that the meeting for seasoned Toastmasters, for guests that are here that need to know, general evaluation is not to evaluate the speakers. We all had our turn to evaluate each and every speaker here. Overall, the meeting went very well. We presented it in a timely manner, and I give kudos to our presiding officer and all the ones that presented here, Toastmaster, our table topics master, for presenting an awesome meeting so that our guests can see how Toastmasters can run a meeting in an advanced club. Thank you, everyone. And back to you, fellow Toastmaster, fellow table. What are you today, Bon? You wear so many hats. You are Toastmaster of the day. I return control of this Zoom meeting back to you. Thank you.
I will enjoy whatever hat you put on my head. Thank you, Toastmaster Deborah. Thank you for very thoughtfully putting the timers report throughout your evaluation to give us the timing, save some time, and which gives me a little privilege to give a closer note as we have come to the end of our meeting. I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation and the contribution, and it's been inspiring meeting about the incredible businesses and ideas that you all are working on. Just want to remind you, a successful pitch is not about presenting your ideas, but also about connecting with your audience and showing them the potential value of your businesses. So keep practicing and refining your skills, and do not be afraid to seek feedback and support from your fellow entrepreneurs and in this environment and the fellow Toastmasters. With that said, Toastmasters provides a great positive environment to allow you to make mistakes, hone your skills, and grow your business. So parallel to this meeting theme, our club has generated a landing page to help our fellow Toastmasters and guests to promote their business, to pitch their business. It's located at our Free Toast Host website. I quickly share this screen to show you where we are right now. I hope you can see this screen. This is a specific page called the Pitch Your Business. It's still under development. We have the first page coming out, and more pages and more individual business will follow very soon. My suggestion is whatever business you have got or ideas that you want to page, you want to share at our platform, Toastmasters platform, send me an intro and we will put that up there. And this is all about connecting, network, and the paging. So that is my closing note. And for our visitors, again, thanks for visiting. I'm running a bit over time. I'm very poor at timing. And Frankie, just quickly confirm with you, if we already have timers report through the chat box and through the general evaluator, is that okay? You are not reporting the timers?
I can do a verbal report. I just thought it would be more time efficient if I put it in the chat. and save the
Great.
check. Up to you.
Okay, go ahead with timer's report before we close.
Okay, so Suzanne's speech time was 6 minutes, 59 seconds. Tommy came in right at 7:30, snuck in under the wire. Table topics, Taya's time was 1:42. Ernie's time was 1:33. Werner's time was 2:12. David's time was 2:25, and Nathan's time was 1:46. Our general evaluator's time was 4:07. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ms. Timer. Again, for our visitors, thank you for visiting. I hope today's meeting has provided you with some valuable insights and learnings. And we look forward to seeing you again at our next meetings, where you will continue to support all of us on their entrepreneurial journey. In the meantime, we would love to hear from you. And this review session will be conducted by our club president. With that said, back to you, Roz.
Thank you so much. Round of applause for our Toastmaster of the day. You did your very best to keep us on time. For our guests, we tried to end within an hour. As you can see, we're going a little bit over. So if you need to leave, we definitely understand. If you can stay, we'd like to hear your comments. The club officers do meet after this meeting, so I hope they will stay on so we could have our executive committee meeting immediately after this club meeting adjourns. And any guests or members who would like to hear what the club officers talk about in our executive committee meeting, you're welcome to stay as well. Now, we must hear from all of our guests. We had quite a few today. So if any would not like to speak up, that's okay. We just want to hear how you heard about us, what you thought about this club, and if you might be interested in returning and joining as a club member. As Ray mentioned, our members are renewing their dues around this time, but we also invite new members all the time. So can I start with Stephen Hutchinson? Do you have any comments?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me to comment. I was invited by Mr. Charles Badney, and we met on another platform, and he invited me here. And I think primarily because of my interest in public speaking. I have a great interest in public speaking in order to and to learn to communicate and learning how to empathize so that I could be an effective communicator. So I think that the best way for me to do that is to associate with other effective communicators because I can learn from them. And that's what I understand Toastmasters to be, is a platform where communicators come together and they're able to critique each other, they're able to assist each other, give information, critique one another in a I would say an environment of encouragement, an encouraging environment. So yes, I'm definitely interested in coming back. I think this is the second time I've been on the platform. I'd be interested in coming back and interested in being a member as well. Thank you.
All right, Stephen, thank you so much. We love having you. David Radney, would you like to make a comment or two?
Roz, I think my son had to leave.
Okay.
He's been associated with Toastmasters before, and he always pitches Toastmasters when he's doing his masterminds.
All right, very good. Well, he would be a great guest speaker for us at a future meeting. Thank you. Is Dr. LaWanna Parker still here? My screen is not allowing me to see everyone. If you are here, All right, there you are.
That's-
Okay.
Not sure what's going on with my camera. It's got me looking like a little tiny person on here.
It's okay. Tell us what you think today.
Well, I always enjoy the meeting. I'm so glad I was able to be here in time to hear Suzanne's second part of her presentation. I thought she did a great job. Tommy, you really inspired me about your online store. It's got my head thinking about what I can do as well. But the meeting was great. The table topics were good. And if I had any doubts before, I definitely dropped them when I saw that last screen share where my picture was on there. So officially next month, I will be joining your club.
Well, thank you so much. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And it's always a
it's
pleasure to
wonderful.
hear your feedback.
I have to say this because I've been a Toastmasters for about almost 34 years. And
Wow.
I always learn something new, no matter what. Every time I go to a different club, there's so much to learn. And so if anyone is sitting on the fence, I encourage you to join us, join in Toastmasters. It is a great organization, and there is so much to learn from everyone that you meet and hear speak.
You are exactly right, Dr. Lawana. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, Ernie, are you still here?
Yes, I am still here, believe it or not, all the way live. Thanks for calling on me. I do have to jump.
Okay.
I was so excited about this meeting the last time I was here. I went and I told everybody I knew. In fact, Maria too is here because I invited her. She has a desire to be a platform speaker. She's wrote an amazing book, has an amazing journey as an entrepreneur. So I have her as a class speaker all the time. So I'm just going to out you right now too. I have a couple of students. I have Jocelyn Paz and Nathan is a student of mine. Both of those young professionals have their own podcast that they do, and it's pretty amazing. And believe it or not, it's on entrepreneurship. What a that's a shocker, right? So my impressions of the club, as I told you folks last time, I was just blown away. It is definitely an upper level club. It's a professional club with real people. I think that's the best thing. Yeah, real people doing real things. And that's the exciting part of it. So thanks for having me, Bon. Thanks for having me back. I mean, Bon and I have been kind of back and forth on email. So I'm just happy to be here and enjoy listening. And I agree with Dr. Parker. Every time you show up, you learn something. And if you don't, you better check your pulse. Something's wrong. So you need to be taking notes. You need to be paying attention because this is like going on a treasure hunt. You never know what you're going to walk away with. And it doesn't take a lot of things. It only takes one thing to change your day, change your life, and change your business. So if you come with expectation, with that attitude of gratitude that we heard about, and you're just darn happy to be here, which I believe everybody that I've seen today and heard from today, they're just genuinely happy to be here. I think that's amazing. I'm happy to be associated with this group. I am wrestling with the joining of Toastmasters. My schedule's kind of busy. It sounds like an excuse, apologies up front, but I have to be aware of where I commit my time and how I do it. But I absolutely encourage folks to consider and engage with Toastmasters, because if you're going to be in business, you have to speak. And if you have to speak, you need to speak well. And if you want to speak well, this is where you do it. So that's all I have.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Ernie. We value your feedback about this club. And maybe when you are ready, you will become a member or attend as a guest a little longer. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, is Jocelyn Paz or Lynn Summers still here? We'd like to hear from them.
Hi, good morning. Firstly, I'd like to apologize for not having my camera on. It's amazing to see everybody's faces, and thank you for having me. I was amazed at just how structured and concentrated on the individual these meetings really are, and everyone is respectful and inviting to ideas that are presented, which makes a really open space, as we've said before. I was excited to see how the ideas that I've learned from my schooling so far have been applied in these great examples, especially for the topics. For me, I would consider returning and joining, because this does seem like a very great opportunity to talk with individuals, like Professor Silvers had said, about, these are real people who have ideas that they're working on, fellow passionate people who have a space where they want to share, and just, having that encouragement sometimes is all you need. So thank you for this experience. It was great.
Well, thank you for joining us as a guest. We hope to see you again as often as you'd like to visit. And down the road, consider membership, because we do increase the volume of excitement and the learning experience from our members, but we also learn from our guests like you. Thank you so much. I'd like to call on Lynn for a few comments, and then Mariatsu. I hope I'm saying your name right.
Good morning, everyone. I want to first say thank you so much for the invite, Professor Ernie. I've been involved with Toastmasters over the years. I want to say for the last maybe 25 years, off and on. I was blessed to be able to be at Kaiser, and they put us all through Toastmasters, anyone that wanted to go into leadership. So I know the skills that I received from there, and it was so nice and so refreshing, because I've been away from it for a while, to just, as soon as I come into the, when I tuned in, I was like, wow, okay, familiar people, familiar spirits, our souls. So that was something that was so refreshing, and I'm so thankful that I was able to have that opportunity to come. I know with my time period right now, I am not able to be a member. I have other obligations, and one of them is being a farmer. I had started my own company called Summers Prep. So I do an integrated approach to urban survival or sustainability. So early in the morning, I'm up with the chickens. I just got some goats, and just farming early in the morning is one of those things. And then being able to make sure that I'm able to take that to the products, to different avenues that I'm selling. So, but I will be tuning in. I'm working on my bachelor's, so I'm kind of busy, but I'm loving the energy. And thank you so much, everyone.
You're so welcome, Lynn. Thank you for being here. And it seems like Ernie reached out to a lot of his students and entrepreneurs. So we really appreciate your feedback and joining us today. I will call on Nathan and then Mariatsu. And if there are any guests that I haven't called on, please, you're welcome to make a comment. Nathan, are you still here?
Roz. Yes, I'm still here. Yes, this is a very wonderful group of people. It's a very enriching experience. To be so young, surrounded by people with a lot of experience, it's really enriching for me, because I can draw from inspiration from you guys. You guys are all very well spoken, and it brings out that side of me. I was, of course, invited here by Professor Ernie Silvers. It's really funny, actually. Lynn, the speaker just before, I had no idea she was here. We sit right next to each other in class. So it was really great to see her face. Yeah, I would definitely consider coming back. I really appreciate this opportunity. I love that you guys are open to having guests. I loved the roundtable discussion hosted by Ray. Very insightful questions. And I really appreciated the feedback that we had the opportunity to give to the presenters, and such as Tommy. Love your business. And yes, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you, Nathan. We hope to see you more often. You know, it's interesting. Let me see, did we hear from Mariatu? And any other guests?
Hi.
Hi there.
Well, yeah. Thank you all for having me. Professor Silvers is the one that invited me. Like you said, I'm thinking of platform speaking. And, you know, I was part of Toastmaster when I was doing my undergrad at Cal State San Bernardino. So I've had experience about Toastmasters. So now, because I'm thinking of being on a platform speaking, I explained to Ernie that I'm kind of interested if he could coach me. And he's like, well, I know the perfect place for you to go. Join the Entrepreneurship Toastmasters Club. I was like, okay, and he invited me to join you. And to be honest, I am really interested in joining because of the route I'm taking now as a public speaker. So yes, I will be joining Toastmaster. You don't have to convince me.
Thank you so much. Let me just say this too for our guests who are considering joining. Our Vice President of Membership is Charles Radney. You heard him speak earlier. He will reach out to you. But what we'd like for you to do in the chat box, privately to Charles or openly to the rest of us, because we would love to communicate, give us your email address and we will get you started. Some of you were invited by Ernie Silvers. We know how to reach Ernie, and he could help us get in touch with you if we miss that important information. So thank you for joining us and your comments. I see one more guest. Is it Mingy Lu? Is Mingy still here? Or maybe I'm not pronouncing it correctly.
Minchi Lu?
Well, maybe she's not here. You know, we had over 20 people in this meeting, and maybe she needed to leave. However, our members always have something to say, but we'd like to hear from our guests first. Are there any announcements from our members before we adjourn and go into our club officers meeting right after?
I see Charles' hand is up.
Yes, Charles.
There is an excellent book called Deliver Unforgettable Presentations. It is by Patricia Fripp and Darren LaCroix and Mark Brown. It's a structured book that teaches you how to put together a presentation, how to put together a speech. Take a look at it. It's a great book.
Thanks. Great PR, Charles. Thank you so much for promoting that. And I saw a chat message that Minji was on mute. Would you like to speak up now? Is she still on mute or he? Okay.
Yeah, muted. I didn't know if she realized, and if you can unmute, we would love to hear from you.
Thank you, Frankie. Did she unmute? Did I see Marvell on earlier as well?
Marvell was here also, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
She left.
And
Well, okay, everyone. Thank you so much.
I think Rosabelle has something to say. Sorry.
Rosabelle, go right ahead.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to thank Bond and Mona Lisa, who is not here today, for attending said in his response session that we need to become a community and help each other in our businesses too, within our Entrepreneurs Club as well as networking outside.
Yes.
So thank you to Bond and to Mona Lisa. Hopefully she'll end.
Okay. You were breaking up a little bit on my end, and I don't know if it's just
Thank you.
me, Rosabelle.
Yes, she was stalling and is stalled again.
Oh, I don't know. It
Okay.
might be my internet.
Your
but
internet.
It was
Yeah.
basically to thank Bond and Mona Lisa for attending my Valentine's event yesterday.
Oh,
It was a meeting on
that's so
Zoom with various
good.
artists. And
Very
I was
good.
hoping that Mona Lisa would represent Entrepreneurs Club for the contest.
Right. Well, she sent me a text that she thought about it and she won't be able to.
Thank you.
So I'm glad we have that. And then April, you have your hand up?
Yes, I didn't see him on today, but I believe Randy Powell has his next event this Friday and again in March. So I just wanted to mention that for all of our fellow entrepreneurs. I believe, Raj, you had the opportunity to attend. I didn't get to go, but I really want to and hope that I will be able to. But I just wanted to mention that event this Friday.
Oh, I know he will appreciate that, April. Yes, Suzanne Leonard and I plan to attend again. It's this Friday in Vision Success Masterclass. We went in January. There will be one in February and March. And we're going out to Murrieta because it's in person for this Friday. So thank you so much for bringing that up, April. Some of you know how hard we work to keep this club growing and sustaining and retaining the value of our members. It's what our members want. This club is member driven. Yes, we have to pay dues to be a Toastmaster, but what we do inside of Entrepreneur Club is to help you. So be a part of it, engage in it. We look forward to seeing you at every meeting on the first and third Wednesday of each month. So if there are no further announcements, we will adjourn the meeting.